Are you feeling small? Are you feeling lame? Got no words at all to name your pain. Full of stress, your life's a flame. It's all a mess, going insane. And something's wrong in your domain. Don't know where you're going, where you came. You need a little something to help your brain. Are you shaking your head? It's all a shame. Do you sleep at night? Stay up late? You got a headache? Are you feeling drained? Everybody needs a little help someday. Hear me say it's time for Untamed. Are you feeling small? Are you feeling lame? Got no words at all to name your pain. Full of stress, your life's a flame. It's all a mess, going insane. And something's wrong in your domain. Don't know where you're going, where you came. You need a little something to help your brain. Are you shaking your head? It's all a shame. Do you sleep at night? Stay up late? Got a headache? Are you feeling drained? Everybody needs a little help someday. Just hear me say it's time for Untamed.
All right, we're back. Untamed
Yes, we are.
podcast. Woo-hoo.
We're
So
here.
excited. So this is our first time back since, when was our last episode, Deana?
I think it was in June.
Yeah, we
Was
were
it
pretty much
July, June?
off.
Yeah, busy summer and
Venus was in retrograde. So,
hiring energy happening.
So yeah, we're back in the studio. This is our first episode back, and we're super excited to kind of fill you guys in on what we've been doing and some of the new events and things that we have up and coming. So we're excited to announce that Renovatio's back again for, I mean, are we calling this like the second round of episodes
Yeah.
or whatever? And then we also have Whitesboro Fit Body Boot Camp. So that's Lisa Briggs over there. And so she's one of our newest sponsors. So we're really excited to have her on board.
Yeah.
And we have a couple other people in the works that we're going to let you know who actually ends up sponsoring us. But that's up and coming, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
So I'm excited to learn about the boot camp because I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, it's like high intensity training, I think, and they do like a circuit. But maybe we could have Lisa come on and she can tell us about it. But she's offering what, three free classes?
Yep. We'll share that in the group, what her special is, you know, like a pre-holiday.
Yeah.
Get fit before, you know, holiday.
So yeah, so we've done some stuff over the summer. I went on a retreat in October, and Deana, when did you go to Peru? You want to
August.
tell everybody about that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I went to Peru in August. I was there, I don't know, maybe 10 days. It was with the Anamkara retreat, which is ran by Niels Poole and Francesca Barone. They are awesome. She's from the U.S., he's from Australia. They met down in Peru, I believe. I don't really know their story, but they pretty much host a retreat in the most beautiful place in the Sacred Valley of Peru. So it's, you know, surrounded by mountains and just gorgeous.
You went to Machu Picchu, right?
I did.
Yeah.
After the retreat, I went to Machu Picchu by myself. I had a guide.
Yeah, the guide. Yeah.
I had a guide who actually was an archaeologist that worked there, so it was awesome. I got to go places that they don't really let people and do more of the tour than what my ticket was for. And his name was Jimmy, which is my dad's name, so that was like...
That made you feel like safe, kind of.
Yeah, that made me feel kind of like, oh, this is awesome.
Were you with other people, or was it just you and Jimmy?
Just me.
Just you and Jimmy, just driving down in Peru to...
They put me in an Uber that took me to a train station at 4 in the morning.
Oh, my God.
So I'm outside in the dark with all these people. I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And, hopped on a train and took a train to Machu Picchu and wandered around looking for my name on a little sign. And then I found the guy, Timmy.
Okay.
And he bought us bus tickets. We went up to the top because I was not backpacking.
So they drove you to the top, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The bus took us up to the top, and then from there, he took me around the whole Incan village, and then I went up to the top where you get, that spectacular photo that I'm sure you've seen online. So
yeah, that's amazing. So how did it feel? Like, did
surreal.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times on the internet or on ancient
Gaia
civilizations.
or whatever, yeah.
And just to be there and like looking around and like, I don't even feel like I'm here. It was just so magical. It's such a energetic, sacred place. And, you know, from what he said, they haven't even burned away parts of it that are still hidden underneath the rainforest. So there's still so much more of the Incan ruins that we don't know about.
Yeah, no, I think that's so cool.
They might not ever let them do that.
Yeah.
But that's,
Yeah, I'm wearing the ring you got me. She got
really
me this really
interesting.
cool snake ring while she was
yeah, so it was
there.
a great time. It was an ayahuasca retreat. So it was very healing. We did a lot of Kundalini type work. Did breath work, cacao. The food was amazing. It was just this secluded, beautiful. It looked like a Tim Burton movie, just the way that they had set up this retreat space. And they were still doing work. There was swings and bridges and waterfalls and just it was crazy. I can't even.
And they do
begin
integration
to-
calls with you after, right? So
Yes,
you've
they're
been
still
doing
providing support.
That's amazing because after such a huge experience and such a transformational thing to go through, then not have the support afterwards. So they're doing that.
No, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
They've been doing the work a long time. They will be moving their next round of retreats to Costa Rica. So
But
I'm
you've already
sure
done that, too.
Yes, I've done
Yeah.
that too. I'm sure that's going to be just as beautiful and serene. So,
Yeah, awesome. Are you planning another retreat anytime soon or not yet?
so
Yeah?
yeah.
I know, right? You're doing the
outta
breath
here.
work too. So you're doing
Yep.
a breath work training.
Yep.
I mean, not to
Breath
make
work
you talk the
training.
whole time in the beginning, but
Oh,
if you
that's
want to just go
fine.
right into that part.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've done this breath work with a couple of different teachers. One time on this retreat I was just at, and another time with someone named Callie David that I work with online, who's also
It's Callie, like
amazing.
Callie, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, Colleen just went to
Yeah.
the Denver retreat. I couldn't go. But yeah, we just do this breath work that is very intense. It generates a lot of energy throughout your body, and you can have major releases, clear blockages, bring things in. So I decided that I wanted to study it. So I took a couple of courses on that with David Elliott. It was amazing. And we were able to facilitate that in the Huntress event last weekend at Colleen's.
I mean, Deana had me over, so when we were putting
Oh,
that
yeah.
event together, we were kind of tossing around the idea of the Huntress event, and we can talk more about that, but she had me come over and she facilitated that breath work. It's so amazing. I mean, I just had I just felt so, I was just releasing and moving so much energy. And what do they call it when you have your
Tetany.
Tetany. So
And you get,
your
like lobster
Yeah.
claws, I think it's called.
but it was like vibrating.
Your
Like
whole
my
body
hand was like vibrating, my
just
jaw.
a pile of energy. You feel
Yeah.
like the vibration and the clenching, and it's just like, all right, push it out
Yeah.
through it.
And we did
it was
12 minutes, I think, of active breathing-ish,
So,
right?
yeah.
And that's what and then you do about 10 minutes of chill. You just kind of lay there, but you can use your hands. I was bringing my hands up like this and feeling the energy and then drawing it into my body. And, I could definitely feel the energy moving. And I felt a lot of shifts after that too. And it's such a great way to get out of your head a little bit too. If you're starting to feel run down, I've been doing it at home on my own too. And I think everybody, from what I saw at the Huntress event, people were having really profound experiences.
I think so. I'm so glad that we did that.
Yeah.
And so I offer that in private sessions at my house. We could get another group together. Chelan and I have been toying with the idea of doing private group, different collaborative practices.
Yeah, events. If
kind of,
you're
whatever they
interested,
want to
yeah.
pick from to put together that we offer as a unit.
Yeah, we can kind of collaborate on what you want the theme to be, what kind of things you wanted to practice. If you wanted to do Kundalini or Tantra or, some of the energy, the physical energy work, the dancing portion, just the free form dancing is so cleansing. And then obviously the gong that I have now too. Yeah.
It's a great way for women or, anybody to kind of bond.
Yeah, like even families, right?
Families, couples. It's a great way to bond. I definitely saw that last weekend.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could say, like, bridal parties, maybe you don't want to do the bachelorette thing where you're not remembering your own party.
Yeah, yeah.
This is something where you will, because I know I don't remember mine.
Yeah.
But,
like if you want an
yeah.
alternative like bridal shower too, you know, you want to sit in circle with your bridesmaids, with your sisters, with your mother, you know, like that's a really beautiful practice too.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to do it on your own. I mean, if you're getting married and, you know, you haven't done any healing work at all and you're entering into this union with another person, you might want to come see Deana and I a little bit beforehand, you know, just to get ready and clear yourself and prepare yourself for something of that, you know, magnitude. So yeah.
No, I wish I had that. Instead, I just had a hangover. So,
Yeah, same.
oh, you think I'm funny? Yep. No filter today.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's okay. No filter is good. Yeah. So we did the breath work. So at the event, so it was like a 4-hour event. I mean, it
So
was, first of
good.
all, it was like $45. Okay. I mean, we obviously weren't trying to make like a boatload of money off of this event. I mean, if you were to go to an event of that nature somewhere else, there probably would have been a lot more money. We almost sold out. I think we had like one spot available, which is awesome.
I know,
You know,
it
because I
was
know
great.
it's hard to fill like some events
It
because I don't know
is.
if people aren't really comfortable or I mean, they must know it's happening because we're telling everybody about
I mean,
it.
a lot of our close friends already had stuff going on too, so you know,
Well, that's
people are
true, too.
busy.
People
There's a
are
lot
busy.
of stuff. It was a full moon eclipse, so
Yeah.
there were multiple events going on that night. But yeah, I'm
We
so
kind of overdid
happy.
it a little bit.
We did.
We kinda
but,
did
yeah,
because-
well, that's Chelan's Aries energy kicking in there.
Yeah, I wanted to do everything.
all.
I brought every deck of cards that I have. Deana brought every single herb she had
Oh my
for the
God.
do-it-yourself. She has like a thing that's like almost like a hockey player's like cart that she pours in, rolls
The
in, and
dancer
it's like
dream duffel,
every
yep.
one of her.
All my
All her
jarred herbs.
Yeah, but that was
to
really
make
fun. You could
teas.
pick, like, we gave like out a little pamphlet, and you could pick, you know, depending on if you wanted to be calm or if you wanted to for libido or whatever. You know, you could kind of make your own little tea concoction. You could put lotus flower in there, any of those things.
Fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then we did
I
some
love yours.
dancing afterwards.
Yes. Oh God, I love the dancing.
Yeah, that was a
part.
lot of fun. We put up a bunch of pictures, so.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do another event too. We're gonna do one in December-ish, probably, and it's gonna be gong and massage.
Surprise, Colleen.
Surprise! No, she knows. We told her.
Yeah.
We just haven't picked the date yet, so we want to
Yeah.
figure out a time when, like, you know, the holidays start coming. Everybody starts getting like super, super busy, and you know, you're just stressed out. So this is going to be a combination of sound healing, and then Deana's going to actually do some light hands-on massage while I play the gong and. We'll bring the crystal bowls. We can put the crystal bowls like on you,
Yeah.
so like you can actually set them on your body to get the full like extent of the vibrational frequency and the adjustment that it makes to your body. So that's really cool.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm also Reiki, so you'll be getting that too.
Yeah.
I know I would like this during the holidays, so
Yeah, we need to get to
somebody
our
else
own
wants
sound
to
bath.
hold an event I can go to. That would be wonderful. No.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's going to be like also kind of a pop-up. So if
reset.
you wanted to buy, you know, gift cards, we might
Yeah.
we're going to have some other local people there that have gift cards. So instead of maybe buying somebody a sweater off of Amazon or you know some random thing gift, you can get them a gift card to go see Deana at
Gift
her.
cards, Kelly Marafa's products are already there for sale.
Oh, that's true too.
Colleen has gift cards.
You can get them an Untamed
She does
podcast
fitness
tank top.
and yoga. So if somebody's like, I want to get in shape for the new year, here, personal training with Colleen.
Yeah, that's a great
So,
idea.
You know, anything
Yeah.
like that. Our sponsors hopefully will have items that we can share.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
A lot of exciting things happening.
Yeah. So on the 17th, I have a gong bath, another gong and gather event at Roots. So it went awesome last night. I loved it. I had such a bless you, Z.
Bless you.
Yeah, so you just kind of come and lay down. I mean, that's the cool thing about sound healing is that you just literally just lay down, get comfortable. You don't have to do anything. You just have to listen to me play the gong, basically. And so, yeah, it's Friday night, 17th. So it's just supposed to be like a happier hour. Like, I mean, I used to go out and get drunk on Friday nights and feel like shit for the rest of the weekend. Or, you know, even like, you know, you get home on Friday night and you just start blasting right into your weekend, you know, activities and stuff. But this gives you, it's an hour and 15 minutes. And, you know, you can come bring your own blanket, bring your own, if you want to. I mean, there's stuff there, but anything that makes you feel comfortable, wear the most cozy clothes you can find. And we'll do like a little bit of movement just to kind of get the body prepared to lay down for 40 minutes. And then so a little bit of breath work. You know, we did do a little breath work last night, just some like bliss breath, which is like a deep inhale in. It's kind of like box breathing. So it's like 4 in, holding, and then exhaling for 4. So just slowing down the rhythm of the body, just using your breath, right? Because the whole cool thing about sound healing is that like in this room right now, there's a million sounds. I mean, just the noises that are coming out of like the computer or the heat or the sound, the beeping, all those types of things. It's dysregulating your body. It's not organic sounds that we're hearing around us all the time. Just the running fridge, you know, all the things, even things we can't even hear, like the Wi-Fi. You know, like I'm trying to get Phil to agree to turn the Wi-Fi off at night because it's emitting a frequency, you know, that is disruptive to your nervous system, to your body, to your physical body, you know. So what the gong does and what sound healing does is it slows things down, and it starts to what happens is you're in training to the sound of the gong. So it's like, you know, you're instead of vibrating in resonance with all these, you know, unorganic sounds in the world, you start to vibrate at a frequency that's, you know, organic to you. With the sound of the gong, with the sound of the singing bowls, it just it can deeply relax you. It can also, you know, actually activate you too. You know, depending on what your body needs, it will hear the right tones coming from the gong, and then your body will adjust.
Yeah, I can't remember what hertz are what, but
well,
I play a lot of 528, 432.
440, yeah.
I don't really play energizing in my practice.
Yeah. But you can do energizing.
I could if that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
I just
They
don't usually come
like,
in
but what
for
about
that.
for you personally? Do you ever
Sometimes I'll do positivity. Usually I'm doing body healing frequency. So I'm doing a 432
like physical body.
or 528.
Yeah.
Heart opening. Yeah, because I'm usually not trying to be more productive or more motivated than I already am.
I know.
So I'm always just trying to relax.
Yeah.
But it's there if I need it. Or the positivity one, maybe you're down. I don't know. If I'm down, I just kind of like to sit in it. I don't like to come out of it without it just naturally
like
progressing on its own.
Yeah.
So that I can sit with it and process it and understand it.
Right. So. Yeah, no, I get it. Totally.
But yeah, some people don't want to. So there's frequencies for everything.
Yeah, so we're learning about like even the binaural beats. Like, so the way that works is like in binaural beats is like in one headphone you have like 260, and in the other headphone you have like 250, and your brain can't actually comprehend that when you're getting two different you could do it with singing bowls too. You can put one over here on this side and one on the other, but what you actually hear is the difference. So you're hearing 10 hertz when you're listening to binaural beats. So that's why it's just slowing everything down. It's really like calming you down and getting you in this deep state of relaxation, because we don't rest enough as a society, obviously. No. I mean, I talk about this a lot with like people is like men are, they're not managed, but their cycle is with the sun. So it's a daily cycle. Every day they cycle through. But women, we cycle through with the moon. And so we're trying to live in a society that is based on like, you know, a patriarchal concept of the sun, right? Every day you do the same thing and you have the same amount of energy at 3 o'clock that you do yesterday and the next day and the next day. When women, I mean, we really alternate. We have a much bigger, longer cycle, which is the moon. And so we're just not taking the time to rest. And that's why I love the sound healing, because it's accessible to anyone. I mean, even if you have hearing problems, you still feel the vibrational frequency. You're still, even if you can't hear it in your ears, you can still feel the vibration, especially in person. So that's why, and you don't have to know yoga. You don't have to do any weird chanting or whatever. I mean, I still personally love mantra and chanting. I mean, it's your voice is like the best healing vibration for you personally. Your own voice is, made for you. It's personal to you. So if you wanted to chant, or even using om or humming or any of those types of things, I mean, that's still singing, definitely.
I'm going to go take singing lessons first.
Oh my God, right? I sang last night, like at the end of our gong bath. I did chant a little bit, like along with the song, but it makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
When I sing and chant.
Well, it's good. Then other people, it gives them comfortable to do the same.
Right.
If people around me are singing, I'll sing. But if
Right.
nobody else is, it's very hard.
I always sing out, because I guess in Kundalini teacher training, you had to chant. I mean, you had to get over it.
Yeah.
And then once you became comfortable with the sound of your voice, and it depends on like the pitch, right? Like what kind of, and if there's background music. So if you're just kicking off a mantra on your own, like with no background music, that's like a little bit more intimidating. But when you're using like somebody else's recording and you're kind of chanting along with it, that's a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can kind of pick, because like so many of the mantras that are used have tons of tracks. Like you could pick different types of speeds or different kind of background music, things like that. You know what I mean?
Ooh, no espresso today.
I know. I had some espresso. We should have stopped at a coffee shop.
Oh my God.
So the gong and gather. So it's $40. You just come in, lay down, and I mean, I think I have a bunch of people signed up for the 17th already.
Yeah,
so.
I know one couple that's going. So it's a great little date night, pre-dinner.
Yeah.
A thing to do.
Yeah, and I'm starting to offer it as, a private session too. I don't do it out of my own house, but we could find, a place to do it. I could use Deana's space. I could use this probably, another studio of some sort. So if you're interested in having like a private session or something like that, like we could definitely set that up. And that's when you can really get more specialized. You can kind of create like a recipe for somebody's personal energy, because it's a lot about reading energy. When I'm playing the gong, I kind of look out and I see, how people are doing. Like, are they restless, or are they like out? I mean, falling asleep is totally normal during a sound bath, especially on a Friday night,
You're still receiving the healing, even if you're not aware that you are.
Right.
So yeah, just being there, because I fall asleep meditating, but I'm still getting
people thought we're falling asleep doing the breath work. Remember?
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Like you just have to listen to your own
Or you
body.
just go into a trance. You might not even be sleeping unless you hear them snoring. But
well, you're right. Yeah. Sometimes you can hear people breathing and stuff. Yeah. People fall asleep during savasana in yoga classes. Yep. I mean, they're definitely going to, if they're so deeply relaxed during a gong bath, like they're definitely going to fall asleep.
People fall asleep getting muscle gunned and scraped and out cold.
So relaxing. Okay. Oh my God.
It's not though.
The muscle gun, no. The scraping's not either? No, I've never had it. No.
I'll scrape you.
You do scraping and you do cups. What other things do you do? Like what other techniques?
Reiki.
Do you do Thai?
Yeah.
What is that? Explain that.
It's a lot of, it hurts.
Oh, it does?
It's a lot of compression and stretching. So I love it because I love helping people like stretch at the gym and stuff too, because I do personal training as well. But yeah, I mean, it's just great to have somebody like come in and stretch you. And this is done on the floor in your clothes.
We should show
on a mat.
people. Maybe we could do a demonstration. You can do it on me next time.
You can come to my house. I'll open my mat up.
Okay.
And yeah, it's great though. I've gone to someone here a couple of times, and I've had it in Costa Rica, and it's just great. Sometimes you don't want to be massaged, but you need to be stretched and loosened and, have everything put back where it was.
Yeah.
So that's just a nice, different practice that I do. I do craniosacral therapy as well. That's a lot of nervous system regulation. So that one's.
So is that when
really
you put your like hand,
very light touch, like you don't even feel it. But
Okay.
if you have it done, you definitely feel stuff. Like I went to a rolfer the other day, and he started doing craniosacral on my skull. Where you basically are moving the sutures and the cerebral spinal fluid. And I was like having like hallucinations and stuff while he was doing this. I was like, wow, this
Probably
is
'cause you're
great.
so
I just want to
open,
stay
too.
in this for as long as possible and see what comes up. But yeah, it was great. So I'm just glad that I learned some of these things and offer them. And most of my treatment sessions, if you don't tell me specifically what you want, you're going to get a mix of most of the things that I do all in one session. So you're going to get sound, you're probably going to get craniosacral, Reiki, stretching. Sometimes there's scraping and cups, depends what you need, but it's always very intuitive
Yeah, absolutely.
based on what I'm feeling, what I'm reading in your body, and how it's reacting to me. So
Yeah.
it's,
Well, your clients are always like they always appreciate all of that. I mean, you go above and beyond when you come to one of your sessions. It's not like you kind of just walk in, get naked, and you do a massage. You know,
Right.
It's like very specialized services provided to people for what they're kind of open to. Like, I love the fact that you're offering the breath work too, because someone doing breath work and then having a massage. Are you going to do you do it before or after the massage?
I would do the breath work before. That way they're nice and relaxed, because I don't want to get them in this relaxed state and then they're
Oh, that's a good point.
and
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
this energy flowing back in. So yeah, we're going to go into that. They're going to have their release, and then they're going to have this amazing massage where they relax even more. Maybe they want Reiki, whatever they're there for. I also do a lot of plant medicine work before, if you want to add that on. I'm doing, what am I doing? Blue lotus, red lotus, rapé. Can do Sananga. I don't know if you'd want to. And then the Calia Chichi or something. It's a Mexican dream herb. So that one's good too. And I feel like there's more and I can't remember them. But
Yeah. Well, that's
Cacao.
awesome. Oh, cacao.
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you can do that before, and then your massage will bring you into a different state as
Yeah.
well. So I just love doing these
That's
different things.
awesome.
I have a Shakti mat if you want acupressure. Otherwise, you're going on the biomat, and that's got infrared red light, healing crystals, pulse, the PEMF. So it offers a lot of extra healing on top of what you're already getting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that mat.
So you probably recommend like an hour and a half session with you, because I mean, really, I know that
An
even
hour's
for a
tough.
regular massage, like an hour, it takes me like a good 20 minutes just to settle down and get ready for a regular massage. So with all these extra add-ons, like an hour and a half is probably the right fit.
I think so. Well, with
Unless
the
you're coming
add-ons,
back
for
regular,
sure. Like
yeah.
my regular stuff, if you're like small and you don't have a lot of issues, you're just there to kind of, get a nice circulation and whatever, I can probably do it in an hour. But like if you're a dude, if you're a bodybuilder, if you haven't taken care of yourself, you're sore, you got an issue somewhere, I would appreciate 90 minutes. That way I don't miss anything and I can spend a lot of time on whatever it is that's really bothering you that time.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to just do part of usually I'm a mess when I go, so my whole body doesn't get done. It's just kind of just stay here, but
Just focus on what areas needed the most, kind of thing. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm different. I'm not there to relax. I'm
Right.
there to get fixed. So, but
Yeah.
yeah. So 90 works. Sometimes I have 2 hours with a few people. So it depends how bad they are.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So we'll have a gong and massage combo event coming up. I think we'll probably have to cap it at like 6 people or so, but we might be able to add on some other people.
Unless I can get another therapist.
Yeah.
Which we've got a couple
Or
in
we could
mind.
have more than one session if people are
Yeah, of
interested
course.
in coming, and it's like a great way just to kind of unwind before the holiday, or even after the holiday would be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else have we been doing?
You went away.
Oh, I went away. Yes, I went to Florida. I went to a astrology.
How did the gong come about?
The gong,
we
yeah,
gotta
the
start
gong
with
was
the,
kind of
with
out
the
of
retreat.
out of the ordinary. I wasn't actually expecting to buy a gong, but so yeah, I went to a retreat. It was astrology. I don't know if you watched the Pele Report. You watch it sometimes with Kaipacha.
Kaipacha.
So it was him and
awesome.
Brandy Joy, and Brandy, we're going to have her on the podcast as a guest. She was a wonderful facilitator. She did a great job. So I went down to Daytona Beach, which isn't really like where you would think to go to a, astrology retreat, but it was great. It was Pluto, the 8th house, and Scorpio. So, some kind of like underworld, a little bit more of the taboo kind of conversations and things about that. But I learned so much about astrology while I was there. I did free moon readings for people that signed up for the Huntress event. Because the moon is like so special in astrology, and I think we kind of like gloss over it, and everybody's like, oh, your sun sign, what are you? What's your sun sign? But the moon sign, it gives you so much information about like what you come here with. Like the way Kaipacha puts it is like you come here with a PhD in your moon. So like say for example, like my moon is in Pisces, right? So like, and actually Saturn is like sitting on my moon right now. So, the disciplinarian has been in my moon sign, basically stationed on my moon for a while now. So he goes direct today, right, Saturn?
Yes.
So he's been retrograde, and now he's kind of sitting around on my moon in Pisces. My moon is at 1 degree Pisces, So I mean, the Pisces is a water sign. It's a sign that is kind of in the spiritual concepts and things like that. Always looking for new information. It's the seeker. Looking for answers to all the big questions. I'm always reading a book about something, trying to mesh together spirituality and science and art and all of that together in one. And so, my moon sign is like in my past life, like I did that like really well in my past life. So I come here with that as a gift of mine that you can really start to tap into. That's really cool. So yeah, astrology. So, that's been going on. What else? Oh, so not to get off topic on the gong, but so Pluto, we talked about Pluto a lot there, and Pluto is just such a huge influence on our astrology, and it just as a culture, right? Because right now Pluto is back in Capricorn, which makes a lot of sense because as you can see what's happening out in the world, right? Everything is kind of falling apart, right? Like everybody's trying to hold on to old structures and old programming, and it's like the last ditch effort to like stay in Capricorn, which is like an earth sign, right? Like really earthy sign. And we're moving into Aquarius, which is a lot more ethereal. It's alien, it's AI, it's all of the crazy things that are kind of coming, and we're moving back into Aquarius. But that's where Pluto is right now. So
yeah.
So that's what we did when we were in, we talked a lot about astrology, and it was really cool to break down because you think there's 12 signs, but there's only 6 axes, right? So the eclipse that we just had was in Taurus and in Scorpio, right? And that's an axis. So Scorpio is a water sign, Taurus is a fixed earth sign. And so they're two kind of polarities in the realm of possible personalities and archetypes. So it kind of makes it easier to look at when you look at it in that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, they need the basics first, and then it all kind of falls into place. So I don't know, you've thought about maybe doing a workshop too, just to kind of get the basics to understand what each sign is and the characteristics of every planet. So, when Saturn's in Virgo or wherever
Venus,
it might be, what does that mean for you?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
From there, then degrees, moon houses.
It's really...
I can't hold it.
I know. It is a lot. And we don't have to dive into a whole astrology thing right now, but I think an astrology workshop would be great. Like we could just start with your chart, and then I could break down some of maybe the primary thing, just show you how to read your chart. And then you can look all this stuff up on the internet. I'm not some astrologer with all of the information up here in my head. I just look at my chart and I say, okay, I look at it and I see, are there any transits currently, where the planets are right now with where my planets were in my natal chart. And that means when you were born. You can also do a progress chart, which I think is really cool if you're into astrology. It's your planets move 1 degree a day for every day you've been born. It's called your progress chart. Oh. So you might start out as an Aries sun, but now I'm in Gemini or something, you know what I mean? So it's like you progress, right? Because as you grow and you get information and you learn, you're moving through the chart. So that's where you're kind of started with, and then you kind of move on. But anyway, But I think a workshop would be really good just to give people an idea. And there's like some really cool apps out there. I use Astromatrix. I mean, that one's great because you can look at your chart and you can also look at the current astrology and you can see like where you might have some potential. And why would that be important, right? Like, why would somebody want to know that? Like, you have to believe that the stars are, first of all, overarchingly influencing us on some way, right? In some way, you know, the planetary celestial bodies, right? They're like bigger archetypes. Have influence on us. You know, that's what I believe. So when I look at, you know, that would be why you would want to look at it to see like if there's, you know, is now a good time to, why am I getting divorced? I mean, I'm not saying it's just a divorce, but there are some
She's not getting divorced.
I'm not
Don't
getting
take
divorced.
this.
No. But like if you are, or you're having like a major life transit or a change in your life, or you're feeling a certain way, there's probably something in your astrology. And what I think is really cool is a lot of the astrologers that I listen to and they have proven, like they'll go back and what they'll do is they'll actually validate someone's chart. So like say, for example, they're just starting to look at like a famous person's chart, you know, like I listen to people who read, you know, people's like famous people's charts or even like criminals or, you know, countries can have a chart. Like United States has a chart. Like when they were created, you know, we were going through our Pluto return. I think we still maybe are potentially, but you know, a lot of shit happens to countries that are going through their Pluto return, you know? But anyway, so I've gone on a whole tangent about charts, but you know, it's just an interesting way to try to look at, you know, where are you at in your life? And then when you start to look at your family's charts, you're like, oh, okay, now I understand why this person is in my life, right? They trigger my Venus or, you know what I mean? Like why?
Or what were they saying about you skip Sag?
Yes,
and I'm in your
know.
Life, or something like that.
Right. When the moon has when there's a square on your moon, like a square is a certain kind of aspect. I think it's like a 90-degree like aspect. I can't remember exactly. But when you have that in your chart, it means that you quote unquote skipped a step last time, like in your previous life, you know, an incarnation before this. And my step is doing Sagittarius. And like Deana has a stellium, which means a lot of friggin'.
I already have my PhD.
Yeah.
But my son is still there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
a few other things.
Yeah.
So
that's why she's in my
Mercury,
life.
Neptune.
So I don't have to skip that step again.
Nope.
No, I'm learning how to be the adventurous one, right? Because yeah, all the Sag energy.
Yeah.
Wait, was your Lilith in Sag too? What was it in Scorpio or
Virgo?
Virgo? Oh, yeah,
just
that's
looking
right.
at it, and I can't remember.
You were, yeah. So Venus is in Virgo right now. That's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Virgin.
The Virgin goddess. Yeah. She likes being in Virgo. But Mars is actually ruling everything right now. That's why I brought my Mars chime. So like some of the chimes that I have are interplanet.
Have it?
I don't have it with me now. But I brought it with me last night to the gong bath because I didn't want to bring all of my instruments because it's a lot, right? I'm carrying like literally like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Like I have this backpack and it's like this big gong on my back, and I carry like this giant wooden. I couldn't even think of the word for it earlier. Stand, the wooden stand.
Yep.
So I have like a whole set of chimes, and I got the interplanet chime. So I have Mars, Mercury, Venus, Sirius, and I brought Mars with me because like right now, like if you look at how the astrology is outlined every time during, a current time, one planet like rules other planets. So right now Mars is kind of like in charge, and Mars is also in Scorpio. Mars, Mercury, the sun, lots of Scorpio energy right now, but it's all good. So
It'll be over before you know it.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Almost Sag.
Yeah, I know. Wait, because we go right until Capricorn.
Yeah,
and that's
November 20th.
Yeah.
1st.
Mm-hmm. So I learned a ton of stuff about astrology while I was there. I also learned about like Tantra yoga. So it's a lot more like heavy breathing. It's all about channeling and moving the energy and like, just really bringing it up, like big, powerful breaths. It's very similar to Kundalini yoga, So we'll talk more about that. I'm reading a book on it right now. That one's pretty interesting. But when I went there, so we did that. And what else was the other? So it was just astrology, pretty much yoga, that kind of thing. But so one of the people that was a participant, he's from Asheville, and we're going to actually have him on because he's got a whole bunch of gongs. He just randomly brought like 2 gongs with him. He brought his Chiron gong, and then he also brought the symphonic gong that I ended up buying. So like me and him, we really like, he's just such a sweet person, and we really just like soul bonded like right out the gate, you know? And so, you know, he let me play his gong, and I'm like, oh, I've always wanted to buy a gong, and da-da-da-da, and sure. And I didn't know which kind to buy. I had no idea where even to start with it, you know? But he like just, every time we were on break, he would show me which ones, and I kind of put everything in my cart. He told me what mallets to get, because you use like different kinds of mallets to get different kinds of sounds, and it's just a really incredible. And so he told me everything to get, and I decided to just pull the trigger and go for it, because I felt like really like called to it. You know, it was definitely, as soon as I sat down, I knelt down in front of the gong, and I had played the gong before, you know, like a couple times when we had gong baths and stuff when I was teaching at In Bloom. Joe, I think, Joe used to bring one in. And then I have a good friend too from Kundalini teacher training who plays the gong a lot too. So I've played his gongs. I've collaborated with him in the past. But I don't know, there was just something about like kneeling down in front of this gong and like just playing it, and the sounds that come out of it are just incredible. I mean, I can make whale sounds with the flumies. Like, so you use these little rubber mallets that have like a rubber end, and you kind of just drag it around the side of the gong, and it's just like, wow. I mean, it's like so psychedelic. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's pretty trippy.
Yeah, I had to open my eyes because I'm like, what is she playing now? And it was still the gong.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm learning from a woman who's actually in Hawaii, and so I'm taking her class, and you know, she's a professional percussionist. I mean, she has so many cool techniques, and so I'm just really excited to learn from her. It's like a 6-month program that I'm doing, and I mean, right out the gate, I mean, with, you know, last night being my first gong bath, I felt really pretty confident, like sitting there and playing the gong. And then like, I have other instruments too. I have like an ocean drum that he, you know, told me, Dave is his name. He'll be on, David Heiss. You could actually, well, maybe we'll share his page on our website so you can check it out. But he does like really cool retreats down in Asheville and stuff, like gong retreats and sound healing retreats and stuff like that. But yeah, the ocean drum, it sounds like waves. And then I have a couple singing bowls, but I'm not really going to invest in too many more singing bowls. I have a couple, and they were actually more than efficient and effective like last night with just having 2 of them. And it's more than enough to manage. You know, you're trying to hit like this one, and then you're hitting the gong and whatever, but it's so creative and intuitive. You know, like Colleen asked me, she's like, did you plan all this like ahead of time? And I'm like, no, not at all. Like, I just got all my instruments, put them in the car, and I go and I just play, you know? And, you know, one woman texted me back and told me how, like, wonderful it was and how energized she felt afterwards. And so it's just such a nice, and I like to try new things, too. So I always am on, like, a new, if I get bored or something, I'm like, okay, I'm on to the next
how's
thing.
the Palladians these days?
The Palladians, I'm still working with the Palladians. They're working with me, but I'm just not actively, you know, doing their chambers of light.
We all do it, though, and that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be regimented to do the same exact thing every day. And just think you're going to keep adding new, and something's not going to fall by the wayside. Like, it's good to have a whole toolbox full of different modalities, or maybe sometimes you just do nothing. Maybe you just lay there and meditate and just lay there and do nothing.
Or put the binaural beats in. I mean, how hard is that? You know, like it's 10 minutes, you know, Google it, look it up on, you know, your Apple Music, and you can find ways to just adjust your frequency. I mean, we're screwed, okay? Like, I mean, everything that's happening right now in the world, I mean, if you're watching the news at all, you are in, like, legit fight and flight, okay? You can't see that stuff. No. You can't watch that on TV or scroll through it without having, like, a physical chemical reaction in your body, okay? Like, it's just not possible. So you're either really good at stuffing it down and not feeling your feelings because it sucks, like, all of this shit, you know, like, that's happening, not just in the world, but in people's lives. Oh, my God. I mean, I can't believe some of the things that are happening to people that I love, you know, that are going through like such hard times, you know, like illnesses and, you know, just financial situations. I mean, no one is just, you know, floating along in life, you know, but if you have these tools, and like you said, it doesn't take a lot. I mean, I have a breath work that I use from YouTube. That
Right,
one that
yeah.
I shared with you. It's literally 11 minutes. It's awesome. It's like breath of fire, alchemizing breath. And then it's the hold. Like, I love the exhaling, holding out, because I feel like I have to just drop in. You're not going to, probably
it's
won't
so
pass
hard to
out.
do.
It's so hard, but I love it. I can do it. I'm like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
just
then you feel like
practice.
exhilarated after a while. You're like, oh my God, I just did that for 50 seconds or whatever,
Yeah.
And you're not going to die. Like, your breath, you will take a breath. Okay, like your body will override your will,
I know. That's what I say. We have to do this dynamic breathing for 20 minutes, and it's like, how am I going to get through this? I've only done one song, and there's like more songs. But then after a while, you just come out of your mind. Your body takes over, and it's like goes into autopilot, and then you're just like in it, and then the experience is that much more profound. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's like once you get through it too, right? Like it's exhilarating. You're like, I didn't think I was going to be able to hold this posture like in yoga for as long as I did, or I wasn't going to be able to, do this breath work or
Holding
do the
breath
things.
or say a mantra over and over for like however long you
Yeah.
do that in Kundalini.
Yeah, no, that's what I
I'm
was
just
saying
how would
last
I ever,
night.
But
Like, you
can.
start to get agitated, like, and that's okay. Like, I think that's what people probably don't realize, is that like there's kind of like, it's almost like a wave, like during meditation or even in a gong bath, because there's some noise, there's some sounds in a gong bath that can almost be sort of unsettling, maybe like a little unnerving, because you haven't heard that sound before. Or I think that also a lot of it is like past life. Right? Like, you heard that sound in a past life, or it's triggering like memories for you that you don't even know where they're coming from. So it can kind of like
Absolutely.
get you riled up a little bit, but then you'll watch your nervous system kick in. It's really cool. Like, you'll feel yourself getting, anxious, getting, annoyed, whatever. And then like your nervous system will kick in, and it will regulate, and it will kind of down regulate your system and everything, that you have going on. So that's really cool.
I mean, if you're trying to bring about change, if you're trying to feel something, if you're trying to clear something, it gets uncomfortable. I don't care what it is, but that's what you need to catalyze a change.
Right, exactly.
It's very uncomfortable to lay there in an ayahuasca ceremony for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, just because I can't physically lay there. But that's the whole point, is going to be uncomfortable, but you can get through it, and you have so much more that you've gained after the experience is over.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do with like the women's circles that Carrie's having. There is support out there, and there are people that, are going through a lot of the same things, or might be having a lot of the same types of experiences as you are, so we're just trying to, pass along as much information as we can about a lot of these things, so that, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't do this is so much, this is so stressful, and things are never going to change, you're in a rut or whatnot. Like, I don't have a problem going to like some random yoga class anymore. Before, I think I probably would have been like nervous, or I would have been intimidated or whatever, but now it's like, well, no, I'm not. I went to Kelly's spooky yoga class that she had. She's doing one at Nama Let It Go every Sunday. So I think she's doing like a mindfulness one or something like that next month, or maybe it's tomorrow. Well, it won't be, you won't know about it because it's not going to come out tomorrow, but every Sunday, I think, is when Kelly does one. And then I went to the low flow class at Nama Let It Go too. So I never did aerial before.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I loved it. It was so awesome. I did this neck stretch. So she has you like place your neck in the silk, right? And the minute I just touched the silk, I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna love this. Cause it's like you're holding it and you're kind of like on it and everything. And then you have the mirrors too. So you get to see yourself. So you have these like really sexy, like, aerial yoga silks, and you're kind of like in them, right? And so the neck one, so you just like lay there. You like kind of like rest your neck in like this really like, it's very like supportive, and then you just kind of like laid there. So it was like restorative yoga, but with the silks. Yeah. You get really good stretch too. And she says she does like core, like workout ones and stuff.
Or she does so many different kinds.
Yeah. So Allison.
Kids class, Angelina's going to that again now. So
Oh yeah, she's doing a Christmas thing too. I saw.
Yeah.
She just posted.
Sure we'll be there.
Some kid. Yeah.
I did it last year. It was cute. They
Yeah.
did like a whole routine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? Anything
Stuff
else?
everywhere. Oh, I don't know. What are we at for time, Z? Wake up.
Way over.
Are we way over an hour?
Are you sure? Because I know you were fumbling for a while, getting us ready to roll.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like 3:11.
Was it? Oh my
I
God.
for some reason, this says you've only been on for 12 minutes, but that's not.
That's wrong.
Okay, well that's wrong.
hope
So
you
anyway, we
recorded
can
the whole-
kind of wrap this up anyway,
Yeah,
right?
you want to
Dee?
pull a card for
Yeah, sure.
our second round here?
Okay, sure. So yeah, this is the Urban Crow Oracle card. Phil got me these for Christmas last year. Oh, and this is a really cool book that I'm reading. It's called The Power of Sound. So it's really awesome because it talks about the science of the vibrations and the frequencies, and that's what I love. Like when things can start to really snap into place for me, when it's like mystical in nature, but it's scientifically proven. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just such a cool concept. Like I just love that, like sound and vibration. You know, it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in a place where you're stuck, you don't know, like, where to go, what to do, nothing's changing. I just finished The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. He did Untethered Soul.
Yeah, I read that.
And this book, it was great. It was like he just kept going with the flow. Things popped up that he didn't want to do, but he was like, all right, I'm doing this surrender experiment. And his life just unfolded he somehow became part of it's just crazy. WebMD. He was like a yogi that lived in the woods and didn't talk to people. All of a sudden, they built a commune on his land, and he has this company that was bought by WebMD.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it gets not good after that for a
Yeah.
minute, but it's just amazing the way that everything unfolded for this person that just kept letting things, just surrendering to things. So if you need inspiration, that was a really good book.
Oh, I love that
me
book.
to New Jersey
Actually, I
and
gave
back.
that book to my grandfather to
Yeah.
read, The Untethered Soul. Such a good book. Like life-altering, changing book.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay, let's pick one for the group, okay? So this is going to be our collective message for you guys. Deana's going to pick it, and I am going to read it.
Curiosity.
Curiosity. Perfect. So if you're curious, there we go. Oh, don't walk away.
Mike, he's going to kill me.
Oh, no.
And it's
Blurry.
blurry.
What's the number on it?
11.
Number 11. Oh, nice.
Let's see
All right.
do this.
Curiosity. An open door is an invitation. Okay, an open door is an open invitation for this brave crow. Now is an excellent time to consider what treasures you will find when you are brave enough to explore. Curiosity asks that you open doors, look inside, and analyze the situation. This is perfect. Wow, it's so great. This is a time to dig in and do your research. Curiosity indicates that you are just scratching the surface. The possibilities are vaster than you are currently seeing. However, you need to get inquisitive. When you start asking questions, a path will unfold. When curiosity appears, you will be better served by putting aside your emotions and thinking like a researcher. That is so on point.
Yeah.
Like that is like
Great
perfect.
card.
That's a great card.
Good.
But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Post your questions in the comments.
Any
you know,
ideas? You want to get together with us and, come up with a cool...
collaboration event. We love to collaborate with people on events and stuff. It's a lot of fun. It takes the pressure off, but it also holds you, like that's why Deana and I do a lot of events together so that like we can kind of hold each other accountable, and she comes up with ideas and I come up with ideas, and then it's just a lot of fun when you do it with another person.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
great.
Yeah.
And we throw a good party, so...
Yeah, we do. All right, I think we're good for now. So yeah, thanks again, Whitesboro Fit Body Boot Camp, to come on as our newest sponsor, and also to Renovatio Aesthetics and Wellness. Thanks for your commitment and your continued, sponsorship with us.
Andrea.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good
All
times.
right, we'll see you guys next time.